So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our JAMB biology exam practice revision questions, we are going to study these 60 questions and try to solve them together. So ensure to stay to the end of this video, and also you can feel free to pause this video at any point and try to work out the answer to this question and then see if you are correct. So we are going to start with the first question here. It says, for heterotrophic organisms, competition is least caused by inadequacy of A, nutrients, B, space, C, light, and D, mates. So guys, the least thing capable of causing competition in heterotrophic organisms is light, because nutrients actually is one of the major things responsible for competition. Space too is one of the major things responsible for competition in heterotrophic organisms. Also, mates too is also another reason why there is competition in heterotrophic organisms. But then heterotrophic organisms do not directly depend on light, so they actually do not have light as one of the major reasons why they compete in their environments. So guys, light is the right answer to this question. So if you're wondering, heterotrophic organisms are organisms that do not manufacture their food, rather they depend on already made food, just like the fungi and the animals. So the heterotrophic organisms do not need light so much. In that case, like I said earlier on, C is the correct answer to this question, and that's light. So let's look at the next question, guys. So the next question here says, all living organisms are constantly involved in a struggle for existence. This was proposed by A. Wallace, B. Morgan, C. Lamarck, D. Darwin. Actually, the correct answer to this question is D, and that's Darwin. Actually, Charles Darwin proposed this in his theories of natural selection. So the correct answer to this question is option D. So let's move to the next question immediately. So we have the question says, the stage in the life history of a moth responsible for the destruction of agricultural crops is the A, caterpillar, B, imago, C, nymph, and D, pupa. So the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's caterpillar. So the caterpillar is responsible for destruction of agricultural products. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 4. It says, the following are advantages of complexity in higher organisms, except A, division is allowed for efficient exploitation of the environment. B, there is specialization of various cells. C, in higher organisms, ability to regenerate decreases. And D, it increases adaptation to environment. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C. In higher organisms, ability to regenerate decreases. So this is not an advantage. So that's the correct answer to this question, option C. So question number 5 says, examples of competitors are, so we are using this diagram to answer question number 5. Examples of competitors are A, snake and lizard, B, grasshopper and mouse, C, lizard and mouse, D, rabbit and snake. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option B, and that's grasshopper and mouse. So they are both dependent on the grass or vegetation. So in that case, they are competitors because they are in the same energy level. So they are competing for the same food source. So guys, that's the correct answer to that question. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 6. Which of the following factors can bring about competition in a population? So guys, we have A, dispersion, B, immigration, C, drought, and D, mortality. So the question says, which of the following factors can bring about competition in a population? So guys, the actual answer to this question is drought. Dispersion cannot bring competition. Immigration is moving out from the environment, so it does not bring competition. D is mortality, that's death rate. Death does not bring competition, but drought can bring about competition when there is no water. The limited source of water can be a competition between the organisms living in the environment. So the next question here is question number 7, and it says, when competition is between members of the same species, it is called A, extraspecific, B, intraspecific, C, extraspecific, and D, interspecific. So the correct answer to this question is intraspecific. It is within. So it is between the members of the same species. So that's intraspecific. So guys, that's the answer to that question. So let's look at the next question. Question number 8. It says, which of the following is an example of intraspecific competition? A worker termite and a soldier in a limited space. B, a lizard and an ant eater chasing insects. C, a hawk and an eagle targeting the same chicken. And D, yam and potato shoots growing out through the same window. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's a worker termite and a soldier in a limited space, because it's an intraspecific competition. They are of the same species. So guys, let's look at this graph. We are using this diagram to answer this question. It says the type of interaction shown here is referred to as A, cooperation, B, mutualism, C, interspecific competition, and D, intraspecific competition. All right, guys, this is a competition here, but it is not intraspecific because they are not of the same species. So since they are not the same species, this is an interspecific competition. So C is the correct answer to this question. So let's look at the next question here. Which of the following factors can bring about competition in a population? A, dispersion, B, emigration, C, mortality, D, drought. So the correct answer here is D, that's drought. So let's look at the next question here. Question number 11. The adaptive importance of nutritional flight from termite colonies is to A, ensure crossbreeding between members of one colony and another. B, disperse the reproductive in order to establish a new colony. C, expel the reproductive so as to provide enough food for other members. And D, provide abundant food for birds and other animals during the early rains. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option B, to disperse the reproductive in order to establish new colonies. That's the reason for the nuptial flight. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 12. Toads and lizards in an ecosystem depend on a limited quantity of food. This is an example of A, predation, B, intraspecific competition, C, parasitism, and D, interspecific competition. So this is option D is the correct answer to this question. That's interspecific competition, because toads and lizards are not of the same species. But when there is competition between them in the same ecosystem, that is interspecific competition, and because they are not of the same species. So guys, the next question, that's question number 13. It says, which of the following statements best describes the role of competition in the process of adaptation? So A says competition ensures equal distribution of resources among the individuals in a population. B. Competition leads to the development of new traits and adaptation in a population. C. Competition leads to the selection of individuals with favorable traits for survival and reproduction. D. Competition reduces the need for adaptation as individuals coexist peacefully. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C. Competition leads to the selection of individuals with favorable traits for survival and reproduction. So guys, let's consider the next question here. That's question number 14. It says, we are also going to use this diagram to answer this question. It says, which of the following statements is true of the interaction? A. P. aurelia is better adapted for obtaining food than P. caudatum. B. Both organisms cannot reproduce. C. P. caudatum is better adapted for obtaining food than P. aurelia. And then D. Both organisms cannot coexist. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's P. aurelia is better adapted for obtaining food than P. caudatum, because from the graph you can see that the number of organisms of P. aurelia is increasing as the number of P. caudatum is decreasing. So P. aurelia has better adaptation for obtaining food. Hence, in the competition here, P. aurelia is progressing while P. caudatum is diminishing. So here we can tell from the graph that P. aurelia has better adaptation for obtaining food than P. caudatum. Perhaps we have greater number of P. aurelia surviving this environment than the P. caudatum. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 15. Question number 15 says, the intensity of competition among animals in a given area will increase with A, an increase in the immigration rate, B, an increase in population size, C, a decrease in immigration rates, D, an increase in the frequency of disease outbreak. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option B, an increase in population size. So when there is an increase in population size, competition will also increase. So guys, let's look at the next question, which is the last question, and that's question number 16. Competition among individuals of a population increase the A, enlargement of the territory, B, survival of the fittest, C, availability of nutrients supplied, D, number of organisms. So guys, the correct answer to this question here again is survival of the fittest, and that's option B. So that will be the end of this lesson and this revision questions. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you are new to this channel. Also, share this video with your friends so that you can gain more views. Also, feel free to drop your questions on the comment section below if you have any question regarding this video or this lesson. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class.